Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden Night.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Oakland Raiders and the Portland Lumberjacks. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Here's Ajayi. Got some room at the 30. That good for 22 and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, where they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, if you bring your tight end over there. Either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to rumble.
Back to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. But no second-guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And here now the offense heading back out there.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Off play action. Watts. They'll roll him out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown. A big play there. An even 90 yards. And his guys have taken a first quarter lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll look to throw. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we drop. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Pressure comes and down he goes. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now one in the first quarter. What do they do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers
trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
That's caught at the 25, and he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Watts buying time to his left. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. On 1st down, Watts eluding the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Looking to throw on second down. Watts. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. There he goes left side. And touchdown. Mark Andrews, his second touchdown on the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Raiders. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that, but if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. In for the score. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Hey, rookie. That's the way to make an impression. Return one for a touchdown.
Yeah, welcome to the party. We saw him fielding those punts before the game, and he just had a little bit of a look in his eye, didn't he?
He did. He was a confident young man, and now we know why.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll come out throwing here on first down. It's caught here by Adams. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Now it's Ajayi. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And an alley to run. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there from Ajayi. 43 yards. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll give it to him up the middle. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Here we go now. 3,
He'll get it up the middle, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit, a great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He can't bring him down. LaFell's got it for a Raider touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Raiders get a score closer. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Flushed out, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Open man right side is Ingram. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball. I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yeah, and in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And a nice spin into some open field. Touchdown! A great effort there. 55 yards. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And that score will do it. He is now the most prolific touchdown rusher of all time.
When they always talk about a runner who has a nose for the end zone, this player exemplifies that statistic. And now it's been quantified. The all-time touchdown rushing record in the NFL.
This is taken at his 4. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental process.
Jay's going to go past the 20. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Now the point after try for Santos. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Looking to throw. Watts. It's caught inside the 25. And he will take it in for the touchdown. Rashad Perriman, his first touchdown on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. And, Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily when you set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it? They'll set up to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Green 39! Green 39!
Back to throw now on first down. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Myles Garrett in there for the 20th time this year as he continues what could be a record-setting season. They'll set up a throw. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
All right, here we go. Green 39!
This is Ajayi. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He does have the one interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. 15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Drops it off to Ajayi. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's
Pass
about.
interference. Defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. This is taken at his 4. And he's loose again. So how about the game he's having? He had the punt return earlier for a touchdown. Now the kick return to balance things out.
And oftentimes, guys who are on punt return and kickoff return, many of them are the same guys. And they're devoted to a return guy who can break big plays. And when that happens and they know it's there, they're going to block that much harder and be that much more skillful, as well as utilizing his talents. And this is what you get. Punt return, kick return, a huge game.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
They run with Ajayi. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here on first down. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
He'll look to throw. Incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, You have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll run it here. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 3rd down, Watts. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you.
Here we go.
The big guys up front have created space.
Green,
You've run through it. You probably got some help.
Well, he's trying to plow ahead, but I don't think he got there. He did it. That's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
Leverage.
big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Detroit! Detroit!
From the gun on 3rd down, Watts. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
They're going to try and throw. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. They go play action here on first down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is. And popped out, and the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Now back to throw. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. He's got a man. Complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again.
Back now in the Rose City of Portland, Oregon. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th.
Leopard!
He'll drop to throw. And Ingram holds it in. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
They'll try to run with a J. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Jay Ajayi with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that will get him one closer. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run by Jay Ajayi. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Now defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And it looks like this one won't work out. Hans team able to secure the football. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still... waiting to see that number is empirical.
And with the play clock about to expire, Kyle Shanahan's going to use a timeout. That's going to leave him with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. On 1st and 10, Watts. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And this offense is running away with this one. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So line of scrimmage still to 39 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against...
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Hey. Four down. 36.
Off the play fake. Watts sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Detroit!
Operating from the gun. Watts forced out to his left. And the ball is knocked out. And the Raiders have recovered.
After that play, I think we know one quarterback will be extremely happy if his defense can hold the opposing team to a field goal here.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The offense on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
All right, now, lucky 56.
Following the fumble recovery, Watts eluding the pressure right. He finds Ross right side. It's complete. And now look at him go. 20. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A big play there. 93 yards. And this offense continues to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know there are plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
That's complete to Meredith. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
That's caught by Meredith right side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Green, 39. Green.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his 3rd.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
Blue 90.
They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And does the defense have it? They do, says the referee. We're going the other way.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
No, check, Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. 1st down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on 2nd down. Then they got to come up with something big here on 3rd.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down on the 37. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this.
But nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually working in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.